Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a question for you. Let's say you're traveling to somewhere on a plane and you look out and you're sitting in a window seat and you look outside and you see that, whatever the size is, you see that thing that's sticking straight up. You may be asking yourself, what is that and what is the purpose of it? Today I'm going to help you explain that with some physics. So let's get started. I'm going to be using these two planes to show you the difference. So let's get started. So just as a heads up, if I sound tired, I have no idea why, because it's like 8:30 in the morning, but my voice may be a little weak. So I just have my water bottle over there, just in case I need it. So first, I'm gonna tell you what these things are called. So in terms of Airbus and Boeing, they have different names. Boeing has winglets and Airbus has sharklets. And if I go up here and I grab one of my toy Airbus airplane models, you'll see that Airbus has those kind of little arrow-like ones. Those are called sharklets. They also have the pointy up ones, but a lot of these, like on the A380, these are called sharklets. As well as, I go here, as well as this one. Okay, so winglets, sharklets. Okay, so in order to understand what these things are called, we need to understand two things in physics. First thing is called pressure gradient. Second thing is induced drag. One has to do with the other. First, I'm going to be starting with my southwest plane. Now you notice that if you compare these two airplanes, you can notice that this one does not have winglets and this one does. So let's start off with the science. So the first thing you need to know is what the pressure gradient is. The pressure gradient is basically the rate, so it's basically the measurement that describes in which direction and the rate at which pressure changes or increases the most rapidly. So in all basics, it's basically how fast and in which direction fluids move from the low pressured areas to the high pressure areas. So if you look at it on this plane, during normal flight, the down here is where the high pressure is and up here is where the low pressure is. That's what keeps it in flight. So fluids normally go from high pressured areas to low pressured areas, which means that they go from here around the wing to the low pressured areas. And the act of going there creates this little tornado or vortex, I guess you could say, that creates drag for the plane and increases fuel consumption, which can decrease range of the aircraft. But if we go over to this one, which does have winglets, if this goes here, it doesn't affect it because the winglet decreases the effect of the induced drag. Okay, so now I want to explain what this has to do with a type code. Okay, so I'm going to use this piece of paper to break it down with this pen here. Okay, so we have the type code B739. Okay, so this has three parts. There is this part, and this part. Okay, so the first character is very simple. It's a B. So B, it obviously stands for Boeing, which is the manufacturer of the aircraft. Okay, and then right here, the 7-3 that you see here, this stands for the Boeing. Well, you don't necessarily have to, I spelled that wrong. You don't necessarily have to put Boeing in there, but I'm just putting it there for clarity. This stands for Boeing 737. So it may be like, Ian, why don't they just put B737 here? It's because of this number. This number is the -900. Or the -990 or -932 or whatever. So you can see that On these two, there are different numbers. That these two, I don't really know why they're there. I might research that. So really only focusing on this number and this number, okay? These two nines. So those two nines describe how the manufacturer made the Boeing 737 bigger, okay? So let's say we have the Boeing 737-800 and the Boeing 737-700 and the Boeing 737-900. Yeah, I know I put that there. So you can tell that what is the similarity between these three types of aircraft? Well, it's the Boeing 737. So now we look at what's different about this, okay? That is the fact that each one of them has a different number to start how big the aircraft is. This is the number that goes into the type code, okay? So let's say we have an Airbus, and so every manufacturer has their own way of doing type codes. So let's say we have two of my favorite medium haul aircraft, which are the Boeing 737-990ER. I'll tell you why this is here, and the Airbus A320-214. Okay, so let me show you how to put these two into type codes. So the first thing you need to know is that the Boeing 737-900 and Boeing 737-990ER have the exact same type code. That is because of this number here and this number here. So this, and this. This goes to B from that, 7, 3 from that, and 9 from that. But for Airbus, it's different. It's not, so you're thinking, well, Ian, isn't it 7322? Nope, it's simply A320. Just like A321, some aircraft have like A20N, which stands for A320neo, but that doesn't matter right now. And then, but for the longer haul aircraft, like the A330, they would not put just A330. They would put A333 for A330-300. I know, it's kind of weird. But anyway, so type code is the is about roughly four character code that represents a certain type of aircraft. Okay, so now I want to talk about what this means. This ER right here. Okay, this ER right here stands for extra or extended range. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I'll keep it over here so you can see it. So let's pretend we have these two planes. Okay, let's pretend they're both starting in Orlando, and let's say they're both trying to get from Orlando to LA. Okay, so the difference between this one and this one is the winglets. Okay, so let's say this one wanted to fly from Orlando to LA. Okay, they both have the same amount of fuel. What happens? This one has to divert into, like, I don't know, San Diego, maybe Tucson or Phoenix, because of the fuel consumption. Because of the induced drag on the wing, it creates more fuel consumption, which makes it so that it can't go as much distance as a plane with winglets, which decrease the effect of induced drag, and therefore has more fuel, therefore can go a longer distance. Okay. If you have any more questions about like a type code or winglets or sharklets or anything, or just aviation in general, leave a comment down below or via Instagram, and please follow me on Instagram so that you don't miss out on any new videos. And my Instagram will be right here. So that is it for the, here I'll give you one more look at this. If you have any questions about this, comment or Instagram. Alrighty everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. If you're not already a subscriber, head up here, and if you want to see my last video, go up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.